All right, so got the new vlog uploading. The next one begins. Got the Sovol SV8 in. Let's put it together. So got the SV8 all assembled up. The spool holder, I knew that would be an issue. I'm gonna have to find like a little, probably just 3D print something that, you know, kind of secures the filament runout sensor in place, just kind of holds it steady, or retool something that points it down, because I'm gonna keep the spool here. I just used some double-sided tape to hold these rollers in place. I'll probably end up printing one of these tangle-free models that I use. I really like these. Just to keep the spool here, I can easily access it, you know, from right there. But as I'm looking at it now, the P1P is probably going to take up the remainder of this shelf. And so I'll put another, I got a whole bunch of these, just long ways in here. That way the A1 can fit there, but yeah, looking pretty good. And following the channel, you know, I've been kind of retooling my 3D print sort of setup over here. I put all my Cobras up top, got this new rack here. I'm going to put my Orange Storm Giga over there. And right now I've been working on the Sovol SV8 all morning because it's not as user-friendly as my Bamboo. I don't know if you could gather that by now, but having some trouble calculating or setting the Z offset here. It's kind of a sort of a, I don't say rudimentary task. You kind of got to watch it and adjust it and lock it in real quick before it finishes. Otherwise, it completely doesn't do anything. But I'm moving through. I got the SV8 as a kind of I wanted a sort of a Core XY-ish machine that was kind of bigger. It's not as big as the Cobras, but it should allow me to do some of those bigger art prints in a more stable, consistent form factor. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I don't like to tinker. I don't like to do post-production. My ideal scenario is printing things, taking them off, putting them in a box, and shipping them out. And I think, I don't know, I think that's everybody's ideal scenario, except if, you know, if you're a creative and you like doing art prints and you like tinkering with machines and fussing over them and building and stuff like that. And I got to tell you, I got to be perfectly honest, building the machines and tinkering with them is a great passion of mine, but there's no profit in doing that. And if I'm chasing profits, then I need machines that just kind of work. And so if I could do this, then I can tinker with machines later. But a lot of people saying like, well, why'd you get a Sovol SV8? That's a machine you have to tinker with. Well, again, you know, it's a bigger build plate. It'll allow me to do some of those bigger models, a little more stable because it's Core XY, or I think this is maybe referred to as just Cartesian, because the Z, the bed, doesn't move, but the gantries on the XY move. And so I'm getting kind of an education in it. It's going to kind of force me into learning some of those things a little more than, say, a Cobra 2 Max, certainly more than Bamboo. But it's, you know, kind of making me well-rounded. Plus, the Orange Storm Giga is coming, and everybody and their mother's trying to, why are you guys trying to scare me off from the Orange Storm Giga? You're saying like, oh, it's gonna be a nightmare for you. Hey, I welcome it, bud. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the education. It's just, I don't like it, but hey, I understand I got to do it. So anyway, that's what's going on here. And it was because, thanks to the suggestion someone had of putting a shelf over it. I had another one of these racks. I'm like, that's a genius idea. Why don't I just do that? So I put another one of these racks over it. I can slide the Orange Storm Giga right in there, and all the Cobras on top. Everybody's saying, oh, those are bed slingers. They're going to vibrate and they're going to transfer motion. Absolutely they will, if I ran them at full speed. But again, like I was mentioning before, these machines just do better when you're running them slow. So right now, working on the second section of the big nuclear bomb, 60 big old millimeters per second, super slow. Why would you get a Cobra 2 Max and run it so slow? Again, 420 millimeter bed plate. That's really the only reason I'm in it. And why didn't you get a Neptune 4 Max? Well, I like buying all the same printer, so, you know, parts are interchangeable. I can take donor parts if one breaks down completely. And if I'm familiar with one machine, why, you know, try to familiarize myself with another machine, etc., etc. So I got the A1 here. Everything seems to be hunky-dory. Got the new replacement non-bamboo nozzle on it. Could have done a finer layer height on this test print, but it's okay. Next, I'm gonna take the P1P and probably slide it in down here because it's 2 AMS units, and I can use this section for some of the supplies over there, but everything's looking pretty good. Midday update, and usually I've been splitting these videos into my midday and then kicking it over to my future self to see how things turned out the following morning. So I'm gonna do that, send it over to you, Matt, tomorrow. Thanks past Matt. It's now, what's today? Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, checking in on things. So we made some progress on the printers. We got them all in here. I'm gonna kind of go over everything. Had all of them fired up, kind of doing some test prints and printing some various things that I needed. Finally, we've got all the Cobras in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the order in which I bought them. So this is my original Cobra. Doing the middle section of the nuclear bomb. We've got a filler section for the nuclear bomb. And I'm thinking I might actually, if this doesn't turn out, I might actually scrap the idea and do it all in the Voron, or I'm not sorry, the Sovol. Over here, we've got another fillet parts for one of these anti-tangle spools to feed the Sovol. Some other parts here. Did the first actual proper print on the Sovol SV8. Came out pretty good. I mean, there's obviously some issues to work out. I was kind of having some problems with the order of operations, leveling the gantry, and then doing the Z offset calibration, so on and so forth. Still dialing it in on Orca Slicer and whatnot, because you can see here it kind of maybe some bed adhesion issues where it was kind of pulling away. But overall, prints are perfectly acceptable. And the tolerances are pretty good. Like I was kind of fitting these parts together. You know, I've printed a lot of these and, you know, I've had issues before where they didn't quite match up. But these, you know, going in just swell. So very promising for the Sovol. Over here on the A1, we did finally got a successful D20 cube. Haven't even looked at it yet. A little maybe squirrely along the bottom. But overall, the print looks pretty good. And this is with the new replacement nozzle. Probably shouldn't have done the concentric infill and just done monotonic on top, but still looks pretty good. So we're gonna end up giving that away. This filament, courtesy of Chi2 Systems. It's Conjure Silk PLA. So we'll do another one with the rainbow there. And we've got the P1P down here with both AMS units. This is that other Silk Rainbow PLA. Someone very astutely suggesting I do a temp tower on it to test it, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. But overall, things are looking good. So once again, thanks to all the suggestions. Someone suggested I'd put a shelf over where the Orange Storm Giga was gonna go, and I'm like, that's an actually brilliant idea. So I just want to put one of those extra racks over it. Additionally, someone's saying, because when I was printing these D20 cubes originally with that Silk PLA, I was having those nozzle problems. I replaced the nozzle. But someone say I should do a temp tower for any new filament I get, and I'm like, that's a great idea, because again, this is a new sort of thing for me. So a lot of this stuff that you guys are like, why aren't you doing that? You're making all these rookie errors. Yeah, because I'm a rookie, dude. So I did a temp tower for it. But when I did it and I made sure it was all set correctly, I verified in Bam, I'm looking at it right now, that every single layer of this temp tower is at a different temperature, consistent speed, but different temperature. If you kind of look at this, I don't know what I'm really supposed to extract from that, because every layer looks kind of the same. I guess you could kind of, nitpick some of the stringiness and stuff like that, but like overall, the tower printed kind of fine. I mean, there's every line has like the tiniest little bit of stringing, I suppose, The 195 looks a little better. The recommendation on the side of the spool says upwards of 210, I think. So maybe it's just something with the speed, but I have not printed any actual model with this yet, so remains to be seen. Did get a successful cube with the matte Rainbow PLA from G2 Systems. If you want to buy it, links in the description below. They didn't pay me, but they sent me free filament, and I want to make sure I take care of those who, especially at this formative stage in the channel, if you're sending me stuff to review or free filament or whatnot, and I'm going to at least mention it. But overall, it came out, you know, pretty good. This is not a particularly fine layer height. I think it's a 1.8 or 1.6. Yeah, maybe like a 1.8. It came out pretty good. I had the support threshold pretty low on it, and I did it with a lot of infill, so it's kind of heavy. I'm not sure if people might be even interested in buying these if I put them in my store, because it's a smoke shop, you know, and the people that go into smoke shops, maybe they play D&D. I don't know. I don't know what kind of crossover there is there. Additionally, over here on the large little boy atomic bomb that we had been printing previously. Now, if you noted yesterday's video, I stopped the print here because I noticed it was kind of giving, and I took my best guess at the layer height, and it's just a little bit off, so that's why I was printing that thin sliver. Maybe I can glue it together, I'm not sure. But this is about I'm gonna say 400 millimeters across, maybe a little bit less, and I was like, well, maybe if I do it all on the Sovol, it wouldn't be nearly as tall. But I've come to the conclusion that I'm not gonna be able to print this in green and then bolt on gray parts. It's just going to be a lot cleaner because I have to glue it and I might get that haze on it. It's just going to be a lot better for me to print it all in whatever color and then paint it after the fact. I was mentioning yesterday, I understand like with these art prints, I'm just going to have to paint them and do post-production on them. Now, smaller stuff like this that I can run through the bamboo, this is ready to go right off the build plate, and I like that. But I can't sell it for as much as I can these big honkers. So, you know, that's kind of the trade-off, I suppose. And so for on the list today, again, exploring functional prints. I actually, a business I know very well seems interested in buying a bunch of those little rolling tray things that I showed a few videos ago. So I'll probably print up a batch of those to send off to them. It's a very low mark. It's the company I own. So it's a very low markup, and, you know, ultimately all the money flows to one place. But it would be certainly a good test to see if there's interest for that product. I was thinking maybe print up like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them, send them over there, give them away for free, you know, for if you buy more than, I don't know, 50 bucks worth of stuff at the store, then you just get one of these free little trays. They cost like $1.50 all in to produce. And it's a nice little touch. I can put my logo on it and things like that. And so that's kind of a cool little outlet. Again, exploring functional prints that, you know, because functional prints, people need them. People don't need large atomic bomb models. Now it's nice when they order it, but again, functional prints appeal to kind of a wider audience. I have some other concepts and ideas. I need to start listing stuff on Etsy again. I have products on my store, but it's been quite a while since I've actually listed something. I've been spending so much time actually fussing with printers, learning settings, and kind of doing concepts and prototypes that has kind of become sort of an afterthought. And I've had sales here and there. I had it a couple days ago, but it's been pretty light. So that affords me the time and the opportunity to, you know, kind of fool around with the printers and learn, which I'm doing so every single day, learn new stuff every single day. No short thanks to all of you guys who are feeding me with suggestions. Keep them coming because I certainly need it. So that's the 3D update for today. Lots more to do, always stuff to do. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. I'm the Technicals. See you next time.